Hi, this is Freeman Michaels for FaveDiets.com. I want to talk today about food and booze. This is one that I trip over still. It's a tricky one that, it's Friday night, I want a drink or two, and the reality is a drink or two can lead to a lot of unhealthy choices around food as well, not to mention the calories in the booze. Now, we don't count calories. We just look at the choices we're making and recognize whether the choice is serving us or it isn't. And for me, I have to be particularly conscious when it comes to alcohol. If I have even a drink, I will often lose the ability to observe the choices I'm making around food, and I tend to overeat. So dinner parties, the game, for example, if there's an event around watching a basketball game or a Super Bowl or something, any situation like that, I have to know it's a tricky situation, and I want to be extra conscious, and I want to make choices. So a lot of times, I've talked about this in the past, we want to make choices before our first bite, right? We just want to say, okay, here's the burrito. I'm going to get a to-go box, and I'm going to have half the burrito. Before the dopamine, before the neurotransmitters, before the physiological stuff starts going on when we're actually eating the food, we want to, before we start that, make a choice. That allows us then to stick with our choice, to have an inner dialogue, and to stay with it. Versus going on the ride, we're in the middle of the burrito, we're feeling guilty, but the inclination to overeat is still overwhelming us. That is made harder when we allow alcohol in. So I'm not saying don't drink. I still want to have a glass of wine with my meal. I just have to make choices in advance, and I kind of have to stick to them. And I have to, for me personally, it's really important. I shouldn't say have to. It's important for me to track how much do I want to drink. I've mentioned before, if you've heard some of my blogs or heard me speak, that I have mineral water with ice and lemon, and I associate that with rewarding myself and just jiggling around and having that. So at a cocktail party, I may have a drink, and then the second drink becomes this spritzer or this soda water, and then that allows me to feel like I'm participating. It allows me to take a break. It allows me to interrupt the pattern. The same is true with food. I may have a small plate, walk away, sit down, honor my body by putting the food in consciously, taking a break, and saying, I'll go back later, versus filling my plate and stuffing myself. Just a few tips that I offer to you from my own experience. And again, this is an experience that's ongoing. Food and booze are tricky together, so I'm just offering some tips that perhaps you can use to try to make better choices. This has been Freeman Michaels for FaveDiets.com.